Yes. So these are the marks. Actually, I did strict correction.
Okay.
Define culture relativity. Culture relativity is an anthropological attitude of viewing all cultural patterns as equally valid. Oh, very good. This is very good sentence. And hence, every culture must be viewed objectively. The good, and again, in good. That is the reason I told you good introduction.
Okay, sir.
Rational logic and culture. Weak form. Very good. In its weak form. Oh, in its intermediate form. This I told you in the discussion class. Are you there?
No, sir, I couldn't attend the discussion class.
It is there in the recorded video, live classes. You can get it. I told the same format. Very good. I appreciate it. In weak format, why? Because most of the students, they wrote what is culture relativism, but the question is about in its weak form, in its intermediate form, and strong form. So whoever are watching this video, please, this we have to write. Culture relativity in its weak form, culture relativity in intermediate form. Very good. Human rights are partially dependent on modern societies. Yes. Importance of culture relativity builds tolerance, world peace, opens new vistas, knowledge. Yes. Enables differential interpretation, builds moral standards. Very good. Yes. Tejaswini, first answer will be the model answer. Very good.
Okay, sir.
Final conclusion: this culture relativity brings a humanistic orientation by creating a posture of mentality. You written in 3 hours, right?
Yes, sir. But I couldn't complete all the answers, sir.
Evaluate how.
Almost like 2.5 answers, like I couldn't attend complete 3 answers.
Okay. Society correlate to each other, understanding human behavior. That happens. Okay. Where is the term culture is still yes, very good. Correlation. See, the question is about critically. That is the reason I gave this comment. If you notice, society and culture correlate to each other. Means you have to write about the society, cultures, similarities, society and culture differences, as well as understanding of human behavior. What you did, correlation you mentioned, it is correct. Correlation, Barlovsky's correlation, what he will tell, culture is important, what Radcliffe will tell, society is important. That is what. Society is culmination of butter. Differences. Uniformity among good. Give a brief account about the social stratification. Highlight the various classifications. Yes. Okay. Then is good. Society. Classification based on caste. One thing, it is for everyone. Some of them are asking me, so when we have to use contemporary relevance, when I have to use present relevance. See, it's not about writing contemporary relevance for every question. It depends upon the type of the question. See, social stratification based on various factors in the present primitive society. See, I asked directly in the present primitive society. So, you should mention about the present primitive society, how the social stratification is there. For example, you can write about Ashanti tribal community, whereby the power is one thing, matrilineal society, which is responsible for social stratification. If you remember, daughter's son will become the ruler, not his son. Why? Because matrilineal society. So power differences are there based upon their cultural differences, like pattern of authority. That is one pattern of. Why? Because the question is primitive society. The question is not a general stratification. The question is on various factors in present primitive societies. Ashanti tribal community is the best example. You can also write about Gonda tribal community, whereby the social stratification is based upon the status. In Gonda tribal community, the priest will be having higher status, but now other people will be having lower status based upon his birth. Ascriptive status. By birth, status is varying. So these are, I'm not telling these are Wrong, Tejaswini. I am telling these are correct. But the question is about primitive society. I want a tribal example.
Okay, sir.
So, from my side, examples are missing.
Okay, sir.
Tribal examples. This one, next. This is the question. Western market definition, preferential, proscriptive, restrictive. Tejaswini, I gave a lot of examples in the discussion class. Please go through it. You'll get some points. It
Sir,
is
okay, sir.
Tell me.
So I have like few general queries, sir. Because this is my first mains, how exactly I need to start writing? Because this is the first time I'm writing anthropology answers. How exactly I should take off? Like I'm writing daily answers. Other than that, what can I do to improve my presentation?
Example.
I feel I'm lagging in presentation.
Yes. No. It's good. Now you no need to make any drastic difference. See, 1, 2, 3, it's evidence. Very good answers you wrote. But you are missing at tribal examples. In other answers also, I remember you missed it in tribal examples. So where I will get tribal examples, sir? Snippets I provided, no, 500 snippets. In that you will
Yes,
get
sir.
tribal examples. 1 to 150 I
Okay.
did very crisp. There I mentioned which
Okay.
unit and which topic you have to use. Just to remember that.
Okay, sir.
This is enough. No need to. This is good only.
Okay.
Ravati Karve.
Sir, and one more thing is when you ask to correlate, correlate the term is correlate. When you, what does it mean by the term correlate, sir?
Establish the relationship between the both. Correlate.
Like we should write both the present relevance and the whatever is happening, whatever had happened like before, and whatever will happen in the future. Is it like that, sir? Correlate.
No. Correlate, for example, now I asked about correlate, it's about society and culture. So here you have to write about the relationship between the society and culture. But when the question comes with respect to social stratification, I clearly mentioned present primitive societies. At that time, you have to mention about contemporary. Correlate means the word correlate will come when two concepts are asked in the question. It might be marriage, family, it can be family kinship, it can be ethnocentrism, cultural relativism. So that correlative means establishing the relationship between the two concepts.
Okay.
Iravati Karve, you can, this is a very good question. Elaborate on the main contributions given by Iravati Karve's study on kinship organization.
Okay.
This one you follow model answer. Social group and how it brought the dynamic changes in society. Social group. One more thing, why you underline, why you made a line in between this one?
Because I drawed block diagram.
No, not
I
like,
wanted to put box.
like this box or this is.
Yes, sir.
Secondary social. See the question you see. Madhavi, if you are there here, you also asked me what is this present relevance. See, I didn't ask here present relevance. Define social group and how it brought dynamic changes in society during the lockdown. So it's not only about the lockdown, generally how the social groups are getting changing in the contemporary society. After writing COVID, then you have to write about in contemporary societies also the social groups are getting deteriorated mainly based upon functions. Mainly based upon functions. So here I didn't ask it about contemporary relevance, but the social group, social institution, social stratification, culture relativism, these are related with every society in every contemporary society. So obviously before conclusion paragraph, you have to write about contemporary relevance. Write the meaning and significance of dissent. Yes, dissent you mentioned, the meaning you mentioned. Significance. Good. 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 Bilateral kinship. Write about various functions in the simple society. Okay. Third out. Next. Critically substantial urbanization, industrialization, feminism, family system. For this, I gave very good example in discussion class. Go through it.
Okay, sir. Yes, yes.
So for this, how I will write answer? Critically substantiate how urbanization, industrialization, feminist movement impacted the family system, and it gave wings to the women empowerment in the society. What I will do, I will write first family system, family definition, characteristics of family. Then the family system is getting impacted by multiple factors. Some among the important factors are industrialization, urbanization, and feminist movement. Full stop. Then I will go for urbanization. Urbanization character for urbanization, for industrialization, for feminist movements. I will be giving characteristics. See, it is not because of industrialization, it is not because of urbanization, it is not because of feminist movements. There is impact, it is because of the characteristics which are there in urbanization. For example, in urbanization, there will be anonymity. In urbanization, there will be unbothered attitude, unconcerned attitude. So these attitudes are responsible for the deterioration of family system. So I will give the characteristics of urbanization, I will give the characteristics of industrialization, I will give the characteristics of feminist movements, and then social impact, political impact, cultural impact. One point, social 1 point, political 1 point, economical 1 point. Okay?
Yes, yes, sir.
I remember you did give an example also for me. You are evaluating. I gave one very good example. Very good examples I gave in discussion class for this. You write down in
Okay,
your
sir.
notes.
I'll refer, sir. Yes, sir.
Total. These characteristics. Very good. This is correct. Other determinants you missed. Other determinants are there, no? Like age, third member, indirect. It is there in the model answers.
Okay, sir.
This is for everyone, please. Whoever are writing on kinship terminologies, I know that you will write about Omaha Indian, Crow Indians, Iroquois Indians, Sudanese, Hawaiian. You should not only draw the diagrams, you should also explain about observations, what you observe. For example, as you know, Iroquois Indians is a combination of Crow Indians and Omaha. Omaha and Crow Indians are mirror images. That observations are very important. See. Madhavi, are you there? Madhavi, you know. See, she asked me multiple times, sir, when we have to use present relevance. See, the question is about different marriage payments. Again, marriage payments are present in contemporary society. So no need to ask in the question that write about contemporary relevance. Before conclusion, for such dynamic questions, you have to add contemporary relevance. Easy question. This is easy question. No, why didn't ask? I
Sir,
know.
no time. Sir.
See, one more point you can add. Sharma and Sharma, one judgment is there. Haryana judgment is there. Recently, one judgment is there. Apart from it, in conclusion, for this type of questions, it might be marriage, it might be live-in relationship, it might be probationary marriage. You can add one conclusion, that is, live-in relationship had legal sanction, but not societal sanction. This you have to add it. Means legally it is accepted in India now because of various judgments. But in spite of legal approval, societal approval is there or not there, no? Very good. Unit 2, small unit. Good. 3, 4, 5 you written, I think so. After evaluation, again we will have the discussion. But this is very good performance. You continue the same. And those who are
So
facing,
how to complete the papers? I'm finding it very difficult
I'm
to
answering
complete the
that only.
papers.
So those who are facing problem with time management, it is the daily answer writing practice which will help you. What you do, put stopwatch in your mobile, write 20 marker in 10 minutes, write 15 marker in 8 minutes, write 10 marker in 6 minutes. That is the reason of daily answer writing practice. I'm telling you, daily answer writing practice, don't focus on content, focus on time, read, but do practice with respect to time. So when you do with stopwatch in your daily answer writing practice, obviously you can replicate the same in your sectional tests.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Tejasvi.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, next. Sandeep.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sandeep.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Sandeep. Yes. Sandeep, आपके पास disturbance है, please.
Wait, sir. Wait.
Nadia.
Yes, sir. I'm in library. Sir, please.
Okay. Nadia, Sushant, Khalida.
Sir, may I start? Sushant here.
Yes, Sushant. Yes. And आपका paper, yes, Sushant. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. This one.
Silent here.
Sorry.
Silent.
Sir, the first query that I have now, the same query that whenever you ask, so relate the present and the modern present society and present society and the simple society. For example, there was one question that was related to the marriage payment. So in that question, sir, how to structure the answer means for example, if we gave the dowry as a subheading, then under the dowry only we have to compare the both society, or the first we should write entire about the simple society and then after that modern society. This is my major concern I'm facing in the answer writing right now, because the static content I have, but your most of the question in the test are the dynamic only. So I'm finding very difficult to relate those two things.
Yes. 1 minute. Question number?
It was a 15 marker.
Got it. See, give a brief insight different marriage payments in the simple. First, how you wrote. Marriage payment is a fixed transfer of specific item or money along with the bride and groom. Fixed transfer of specific item or money. Okay. Different marriage payments. Yes. This bride price. It's this. मैं कैसे लिखता हूँ इसका? Give a brief insight about the different marriage payments in the simple society as well as modern society. First, I will remember it is only for 15 marker. So first I will write about marriage definition. Then I will start with, in marriage, there are several transactions are involved. Based upon the transactions, there are various marriage payments in simple societies as well as modern societies. Number one, dowry. What is dowry? I will tell. What is dowry telling? Then I will take the example of simple society. I will take the example of complex society also. But in simple society, I will take the example of Lambada tribal community. First, there was bride price. But now, because of the influence of modern society, the dowry system has imbibed into the Lambada society. I will write the observation. My observation is, so the dowry system, which was been absent in simple society, now it is also entering into the simple society. And modern society, I will write about Hindu caste groups. Next, I will go for bride price. What is bride price? I will tell with some diagrams, women going, money coming, bride price. After bride price, I will write about bride price is very famous marriage in simple societies. But what happened? These bride prices are deteriorating and it is getting replaced by dowry system. So the number of bride price marriage payments are reducing and the number of dowry payments are increasing in simple societies as well. But again, modern society example I will write. In modern society, except there is one society, Andhra Pradesh. In Andhra Pradesh, there is one particular system called as Kanya Shulkam is there. If you want, you can write it. In Kanya Shulkam, there was a bride price which was being paid, but now also that system got replaced by dowry system. In this way, I will write. Then I will go for other.
Okay, sir. Basically, I have to focus on writing observations in each.
Yes. Everyone should focus on observations. When you write observation, you are an expert. When you go and you give the factual information, no one want. Everyone want your observations. What you understood. That is very important.
Okay, sir. And
देखो आपके observations नहीं है प्रेजेंट इसलिए मैंने लिखा प्रेजेंट रिलेवेंस नहीं है बोल के
sir, maximum time in most of the answer I have only written the what content that I have.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now you have to improve. I'm telling you, this will be.
Yes, sir, definitely. Maximum comment तो वही है सारे के सारे. And sir, one more question. The sixth question in the 20 markers. That is, define the social group and how it brought the dynamic changes in the society during the lockdown.
Now I told to Tejas today, the same is applicable to you as well.
Okay, sir.
Critically substitute. Seventh question, I think so.
Yeah, sir, seventh.
This sixth question, social group. This is very good. Some answers you wrote very well, Sushant.
Yes. Sir, in that question, on the second page, you have given the comment that add the type and the character. So, sir, it's already so much content is there, and also I have to write the significance. So, how can I elaborate on this?
No. मैं ऐसा क्यों बोले तो it's 20 marker, no? In 20 हाँ, अगर 15 होता तो ये sufficient था. 20 marker means you have to write all the things with respect to social group.
But sir, space management, I already filled all the 4 of the pages. So what content I can reduce? Because the first part was only define the social group. So I have only.
Then what you have to do, you have to make like this.
Okay, so because for this, that type I have only mentioned the names. Okay, sir, I will try to shortcut the second part.
ये भी आपने अच्छा लिखा. कहाँ पे पढ़ा है नॉर्थ इंडिया वाला, साउथ इंडिया वाला किंगशिप?
Sir, when you asked the same question in the daily answer writing, that time I was not knowing anything about that. So after that day, I checked the 2-3 copies that you had evaluated. I think Chetan sir's copy I checked, and one more was there. And after that, I checked in the IGNU book. So from that, I have prepared the answer, and the same question again appeared in the sectional test. So I replicated everything.
Very good.
Okay, sir.
Actually, 95 is a very good mark. Why? Because I did very strict evaluation. 95 अच्छा number है.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
All-
actually, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Next. Sandeep Singh. Sandeep, are you there? Others. Samyukta, Kalida, Ranjit, who is ready?
Sir, Samyukta.
Yes. Correct. Very good.
Sir, actually in test, I faced a problem with space constraint and time constraint. I could not write all the answers. I wrote only 10 answers.
Okay.
And also space constraint was there in 15 mark answers.
Space, you will be getting 3 pages only in UPSC.
Yes, sir. But problem is, I started with the 15 marker answers. First, I wrote last six answers. So I was writing too much. So I much of the time went in that process only. In the 20 mark answers, I could write only four answers, and that too in very fast way. I wrote in 20 mark answers in less time and 15 mark answers in much more time.
Okay. I told now for the Tejaswini that you have to use a stopwatch and you have to practice from now itself. Daily wala.
Okay.
This is Sushant, if you are there like this, when you don't have a space like this, you can write weak, intermediate, strong. This is very good. Weak, strong. This is a good answer. Occupation. Yes. There will be criteria, no, that criteria, just you have to mention like this. On this criteria, these are divided. Correct. Content is correct.
Sir, that's only 20 mark answers. I did not think much. I just wrote with the in the fast manner.
This diagram you missed it. Like this only, but answers are good. Very good. You do the same.
Okay, sir.
Now, finally, what you have to tell means instead of different forms of descent like lineage, clan, fratry, moiety, now it's totally centered around the individuals. The kindred form of descent is playing major role. That should be the final conclusion.
Okay, sir.
You know kindred.
Yes, sir.
These names are used very well.
Okay, sir.
This paper complete 3 hours.
Exceeded somewhat 3 hours, sir. 3 hours, 20 minutes like that.
Next exam, 3 hours only. Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. This is while making marriage. After making marriage, yes.
Where much of the space is utilized, so I just drawn the diagrams and have not written about anything.
About observations.
Yes.
Sushant, if you are there, it's very good. You can learn from here. It's very good. See, in modern society, very nice. You divided it. It's very, very good. But this was not required. This type of questions were general essay.
Okay.
That's what we have. Good.
Sir, in living relationship, that one I did not know about the judgments related to that. So I wrote about Taute Singh Johar, Puttaswamy judgment and those
That is
things.
not relevant. Okay, live-in relationship content I will give you.
Okay, sir.
I will send in the group after the class. This is Puttaswamy for right to privacy. This is not required.
So privacy includes marriage, family, and their sexual life. So
In this context, it is sexual orientation. It's between the genders.
okay,
It's not choice.
okay, sir.
But okay, I understand your point. You want to tell that it's about the right to privacy. So marriage is also an issue which is related to the privacy.
Yes, sir.
You add that specific judgments are there. I will send it.
Okay, sir.
Good, very good answers. Very good. But test two today, how much time you took?
Sir, actually, I didn't start writing.
Okay.
Xerox shop was closed here. I could not get the printout.
Okay, 3 hours only.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Next. Ranjit or Kalida?
Yes, sir. Ranjit present.
Structure problem is there, Ranjit. Ranjit, after class, you call me.
Okay, sir. Sure. Sir, in some questions I got comments that need to improve the content. How to improve the content?
That I will tell. That is the reason I told you to call me.
Okay, sir.
I will tell you personally.
At what time, sir?
Now, after the class. After the class, after 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
my direct advice to you, Ranjit, what you do, your answers are good. What I noticed from your daily answer writing also, I want you to notice why I created open group, because you will see some good quality answers of others, and you will notice it, you will observe it, and you will apply it. So those in daily answer writing, some answers are very good, as Sandeep told. So you also do the same. First observe it, how they are writing, what is missing in your answers.
Okay, sir.
See, as I told for one of the student, it's about the establishing the relationship of society and culture which you written, but also the similarities between what is, how the society and culture both are similar or different. What is that also you have to write about.
Okay, sir. Sir, by asking the word correlate, do we need to write the difference of the similarities?
Yes, similarities, difference, both.
Both. Okay.
And the relationship between both of them, how both are interrelated.
Okay,
Three.
sir.
Any question, it might be ethnocentrism, cultural relativism, how both are similar, how both are, sometimes both are also, in one context, if we don't think about the other culture, sometimes, as you know, indirectly we are promoting human rights violation, if we think 100% cultural relativism point of view. Correct. See, after this, before conclusion, there should be contemporary relevance. And my advice to you is, don't keep this contemporary relevance. It should come in the flow.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, yahan se, when you write, it should come here. So I don't want, we don't want separately, as you have to explain like that. So stratification in nowadays also, as explained above, there is fully stratification, partial stratification, unstratified society, unstratified societal social stratification. In present societies also, the stratification is not limited to those now education, economic pursuits. This is also playing major role in social stratification.
Sir, while writing the case study also, there is no need to write a subheading like
No.
case study. Okay.
See, these are marriage regulations are prescriptive, proscriptive, and preferential marriages. Prescriptive, preferential, proscriptive. In that, preferential will go for endogamy. In that, preferential will go for exogamy. Prescribed, we will go for parallel cousin marriage or cousin. Preferences, that three, no? If you open the notes, that one.
Yes, sir.
See, the question is asked about rule. Marriage regulations are preferential, proscriptive, and this you need to add.
Okay.
Iravati Karve. 4 zones, very good. That 4 zones you have to explain.
Okay, sir. While if there is a question related to scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, etc., can we add the certain particular articles that we use in GS paper to?
Constitution, yes.
Okay.
Now, if you notice, Samyukta had mentioned about Article 14 and Article 21. Yes, 100%.
Okay.
COVID, contemporary missing.
I couldn't complete the paper on time, sir, and I left 2 or 3 questions unanswered. That's a problem for me.
See, whenever there is significance, impact, write in point wise.
Okay, sir.
Impact, significance. So directly, this is 20 marker, you directly kept side heading as urbanization. First, you tell me what is family for me. After telling family for me, then you have to tell about there are some factors which are influencing the family system. The most important factors are urbanization, industrialization, feminist movement, then urbanization.
Okay, sir. Okay.
That is what, see, why I mentioned this point because see, it need to be systematic. So,
By systematic, what do you mean, sir?
systematic is, now I told you, no?
About that writing the heading and
See, listen.
that.
I
Okay.
will show you. 1 minute. See, critically substantiate how urbanization, industrialization, feminist movement impacted the family system. So first you have to start with the family. What is family? Then what are the factors which are influencing family? See, for example, if someone asks, who is Ranjit, he asks me, then how I will start? Directly I will not tell Ranjit is this person. I will tell that Ranjit is a person who came to me in association in anthropology classes. Then he cleared prelims. Then we came together in guidance program. Then Ranjit. A flow should be there.
Okay.
Means the same will be applicable for, it might be for how the industrialization, urbanization is influencing marriage systems, joint family system, or kinship systems. For everything, you have to use the same structure.
Okay, sir. Sir, that heading, is that a problem, that box impact on family?
This one, huh?
These boxes, these
Okay,
subheadings.
this okay.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Sir, while writing the differences between total institution and social institution, do we need to write the characteristics of each before going to the difference? Okay.
Social institution, definition, characteristics. Total institution, definition, characteristics, then differences.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Sir, is that diagram good or bad?
No, good only, good diagram. But again, the same. I want observations, more observations.
Can you give an example, sir? What do you
See here, I will show you. You didn't mention about Iroquois. Omaha and Crow Indians, they are mirror images.
Yes.
It is lumped towards father side. In Crow, it is lumped towards mother side. Iroquois is the combination of Omaha and Crow. That is very interesting, no? So that observation you have to write.
Okay, sir. Okay. That's in a paragraph model.
Paragraph.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, rest all is good. I will tell you what to do more. Okay, you call me.
Okay, sir.
Bye.
Okay, sir. After this class, isn't it? I want to call you.
Yes.
Okay.
Call me at 7 o'clock best.
7 o'clock. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the session, sir.
Yeah. Next.
Hi, sir. Sandeep here. Can you please check mine?
Yes. Very good. Good introduction. Good answer. This. Good answer. Good answer, Sandeep.
Yes, sir. Sir, the problem what I am facing is I don't know how much content to add in answer, where what to write, what not to write, and where to stop writing.
Okay. For this, for example, this you confused might be.
Yes, sir. I got confused in this that primitive society wala stratification.
Give a brief concept about social stratification. Brief concept.
Yes, sir.
Highlight the various classifications. Though this is
Yes, sir.
one, this is two. Various
Yes, sir.
factors in present primitive society. See,
Yes, sir.
first, social stratification definition, social stratification characteristics, then various classification based upon the rank, based upon the status, based upon the birth. These all things you will write. And 20 marker, remember, write about the approaches also. Social stratification, 3 approaches are there: Weber's approach, dialectical approach, and functional approach. Why? Because it's 20 marker.
Yes, sir.
उसके लिए सोशल स्ट्रैटिफिकेशन एंड कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स के लिए एक पेज चले गया, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन के लिए दूसरा पेज चले गया, डिफरेंट अप्रोचेस फॉर सोशल स्ट्रैटिफिकेशन तीसरा पेज चले गया, फोर्थ in present primitive society, if you remember, I told the example of Ashanti tribal community.
Yes, sir.
I told the example of Gond tribal community. ये सब आपको ऐड करके प्रूव करना पड़ेगा कि सोशल स्ट्रैटिफिकेशन है.
Yes, sir.
Like that.
Sure, sir.
So that means how I should think, sir, means before, after you reading answer, before you start the answer, आप ये वाला बॉक्स इधर नहीं तो लास्ट में एक पेज में आप बॉडी बना दो. इंट्रोडक्शन, फर्स्ट पेज में ए पॉइंट्स आएगा, वर्ड्स शॉर्टकट. फर्स्ट पेज में ए पॉइंट्स आएगा, सेकंड पेज में ए पॉइंट्स आएगा, थर्ड पॉइंट में ए आएगा, चौथा में ए आएगा. So what will happen when you start writing? You will not think about what to write. So the flow will go and you can write all the points also.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay.
And sir, in this particular question, should I start with Kathleen Guff's definition or any Murdoch or Malinowski's definition? Because it is too long. It is too lengthy definition. So Kathleen Guff, it takes a lot of space.
No, it's okay. Defined marriage relationship is between a woman and or other persons. No, good. Marriage regulations. Preferred rules. Good. But the question is about with suitable examples in the present context. Primitive and mainstream society.
Yes, sir.
लेविस्ट्रॉस बराबर लिखा, स्क्रिप्ट में एंडोगमी में लिखा, प्रेफर्ड में लिखा. Okay, good. As I told you, I know that you know this diagram.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
AB curve, AB लिखो. ये मालूम
Yes,
है?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I added this diagram, but in the last, in
Okay.
the end, towards the end.
Okay. देखो मैं इधर ही मैं अपना decision, I made a decision in the same way.
Yes, sir.
Most
Sure.
important should be in the beginning of the answer.
Beginning. Yes, sir. Sure, sir. And so in this question, I faced this difficulty. In the subheading lineage clan, how much points should I add? Should I add less or more?
Less one example means 1 point main crux lineage बोले तो क्या?
Crux. Okay, sir.
Crux and one example.
An example. Yes, sir.
ये बराबर है. As I told now, someone I told that apart different forms of distance are there, but in the present society now we are focusing on individual choice. The kindred form of dissent is playing a major role.
Yes, sir.
That is final.
Okay, sir.
Why? Because that is the truth, no?
Yes, sir.
Despite the differences, both the institutions serve the very good. Despite the differences, both the institutions serve their purpose to control individuals, to maintain society and social structure. Very good.
Yes, sir. And sir, regarding presentation, do I need to make some changes?
No, ये वाला lines क्यों है नहीं मालूम मुझे. ये बीच में मत लगाइए सब लोगों को. Everyone, please
Yes.
don't write this. Don't write.
Yes.
Don't make this for
Okay,
everyone.
sir. Yes. Yes, sir.
This is correct. I like this. Despite the differences, both the institutions serve their purpose to control individuals, to maintain society and social structure. Correct. Observations missing for you also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, same. This is missing. Present relevance. Right now, what is? I told you, know, in simple societies, bride price was been there. Now it is impacted by the modern society dowry system. In that way, you have to write.
Yeah, okay, sir.
The simple society as well as modern society.
This is modern society.
Yes.
Question number 4. Yes.
No one can stop to concerning else. मेरे पास एक जजमेंट्स का एक कंटेंट है, मैं अभी पोस्ट करता हूँ लिव इन रिलेशन का.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Correct. This is also a very good point. Up to now, I was been telling that we have legal sanction, but not
Yes, not social sanction.
Very good point. With the changing times, the living relationships might get
Yes, sir.
Might get social sanctions
Sure,
as
sir.
they promote courtship before marriage and provide opportunity to know each other better. Correct. Nothing else. This here conclusion is missing.
Yes, sir.
इसके नीचे और एक होना चाहिए. This one,
Sir.
this should be not the last. You
Yes,
gave
sir.
also.
And shall I remove the present relevance words?
Words, yes, that words you have to remove.
Yes, sir.
See, it's a flow. It should go like a flow. You should not tell me that it's a. But however, nevertheless, why, sir?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Everything is very good, Sandeep. It's very nice.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, Anil.
Yes, Anil. If you didn't Franz Boas, you didn't use.
In the end, sir.
You didn't use the word. Who gave the concept now?
In the starting, I.
The starting later.
Sir, I don't have a proper answer for cultural relativism and ethnocentrism and human rights violations.
It is there in the notes I gave you. It is in the PDFs which I provided in your group.
Okay, sir. So
Please check it.
use the.
Oh, very good. Thus, cultural relativism should be core of any cultural study and policy making. So, need an anthropological approach to ensure. Very good. Very good contribution.
Sir, I didn't understand this question. How?
In 2.2 unit, there is a topic called as culture and society.
Yes,
In that topic, there is content. What is the relationship between society and culture? Whether society is important or culture is important. One person will tell that, Levi-Strauss will tell that societies are important. Malnovsky will tell that culture is important. And R.C. Brown will tell that no, society and culture both are equally important. That correlation you have to explain while writing what is culture, characteristics of culture, what is society, characteristics of society. Any similarities are there between the understanding of society and culture, any differences are there while understanding the differences between the culture and society.
Okay.
See, the question is about
primitive societies.
Primitive society.
I need to add the content.
I told before to some of the aspirants that you have to add.
Okay. An unstratified society with real equalities in it.
Marriage, you have to start with marriage. What is marriage? According to me, then marriage was the way for the people. Okay. Very good. You mentioned about reasons. This should come top. Here it should be conclusion. To conclude, no need for this word and this box. Variations in marriage. Yes, you can write simply. In spite of all these regulations in the 21st century, we are giving importance to the choice of the individual, as told by 21 article. So the marriage regulations are insignificant. But in simple society, still the marriage regulations are strictly endorsed.
Okay. I didn't study this.
It is there in the model answers. Please go through it.
Okay. I have to give like write more about primaries. Like
No. What you wrote is enough. Basic, yes, basic human needs. Family, marriage. No, for why I gave this for information. You will have it with you.
okay. Sir, మీరే చెక్ చేశారా సార్ ఈ పేపర్?
ఇది కోవిడ్ ఉంది కదా, this COVID related points you didn't added more. See, I remember somewhere you didn't written about COVID. Have you written about COVID? I remember you didn't written. See, this COVID-19 has huge impact on social groups and also ensured the need for close social groups during the crisis. Only this much you mentioned. You have mentioned about everything.
Okay.
COVID-19, after COVID-19, again you have to mention about how the social groups are getting changed in the contemporary society as well. See, the question is about define social group and how it brought dynamic changes in the society during the lockdown due to COVID. This is my original question.
This is.
You had written about social groups, fine. Okay.
Yes, I wrote, and the changes I made, I told you, changes brought during lockdown. Structural changes, I mentioned the structural changes and functional changes. In the above structural changes,
yes.
I said that the primary groups gain more importance, that primary groups became unit of care, those things.
This should be emphasized more. It should be for 2 pages.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have one doubt, sir, here.
Yeah.
Sir, descent group means only unilineal descent groups are like?
Descent groups are many. Unilineal,
multilineal. Right?
Unilineal, multilineal, unilineal is patrilineal and matrilineal, and multilineal you will know about bilineal, bilateral, ambilineal, double descent. This all comes under multilineal.
It is also a group like?
This is also part of the descent, types of descent.
In groups, should we write those things are also?
No, not required, no.
Okay.
The conclusion which I told to Sandeep Singh, you also added for this forms of descent.
Okay, sir.
Kindred.
Kindred is becoming more relevant.
These are correct. This is anyone will write an example.
So that present status, should I use it or not, sir?
This is not required. Here, in spite of this, you have to write nevertheless, new paragraph.
Okay, sir. From the middle, if I start from the middle, it will be visible.
Yes.
I have little content like about total.
Now you refer the model answer.
Okay, sir. I didn't read this.
Good. So probably token grade it became compulsory leading to domestic violence. Very good. Conscious.
I don't know. They wrote something.
But you can add, if you, what Sandeep written is also very good point. What I told is also, you can add these both points. It is having legal sanction, but not
But
social
social
sanction.
sanction is missing.
But as per the change in time, there might be social sanction as well in the future.
Okay, sir.
Example. For ethnocentrism, one example. For culturalism, one example you have to write.
Okay, sir.
If not, everything is good.
Sir, what should be I improve more, sir?
Content, you have to read more.
Okay.
You have to read more. Okay. Thank you, Anil. Bye.
Thank you.
Kalida.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You got very good marks, Kalida.
Yes, sir. Sir, but time constraints, sir. I took extra half an hour, sir.
No. Then it is injustice. No, you should not take extra time.
Yes, sir.
3 hours means 3 hours. If you are second topper,
I was left with 3 questions, sir.
But you have to write only 3 hours. It might be 2 questions you had attempted. It should be within 3 hours only.
Okay, sir. But because I didn't know the structure of answers for total institution live-in relationship, I thought I may know what I'm writing. అంటే కరెక్ట్ రాస్తున్నానా లేదో తెలుసుకోవచ్చు అని రాశాను సార్.
No, you have written very well. No problem. చూడకుండా రాసావు కదా?
ఎస్ సార్. అది మీరు ప్రీవియస్ కంటెంట్ ఉంది కదా సార్ నా దగ్గర బుక్ లో, పాతవి చదువుకునేటప్పుడు ప్రీవియస్ ఇయర్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆన్సర్స్ అవి అంతా కలెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నాను సార్.
Okay. What about today's test?
Today's test I didn't start it, sir.
3 hours only.
Okay, sir.
This one you have to add.
Sir, this question నాకు చాలా డౌట్ ఉండే సార్. అంటే ప్రిమిటివ్ సొసైటీ కదా, ప్రెసెంట్ స్టేటస్ కూడా ఇంక్లూడ్ చేయాలా? ఇప్పుడు ప్రెసెంట్ సొసైటీలో ఎట్లుంది డివిజన్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్?
అవును, ప్రెసెంట్ ప్రిమిటివ్ సొసైటీ చెప్పండి మీరు చెప్పండి.
Now in present society there is division based on status, power. కానీ primitive society, egalitarian society, can be divided based on
I gave example, no, right now Ashanti tribal. Now only I gave example.
Yes, sir.
Primitive societies are egalitarian societies. It's a general stand. Means 90% of the societies are egalitarian society. But however, there is social stratification like Ashanti tribal community, Gonda tribal community. There will be big man in Malaysian society. There is social stratification. But general is how much of the social stratification is present in modern society that is not present in simple society. That is the crux.
Okay, sir.
Functional perspective. ఇది కొంచెం అండర్లైన్ చేయమ్మా ఇది.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
మరి బాక్స్ అక్కడ జస్ట్ ఇట్లా అండర్లైన్ చేయండి.
Okay, sir.
Proscriptive marriage. As I told you earlier, write about marriage definition, then you write this.
Okay, sir.
Some examples add చేయాలి.
Yes, sir. Present relevance also.
North and southern.
Actually,
What is this? Ira Tarve, through her studies of kinship, caste, organization, culture of India has.
అది నాకు లాస్ట్ లో దానికి ఫెమినిజం మీద తెలియదు సార్, అంటే కాన్సెప్ట్ లేదు. సో ఐ జస్ట్ పుట్ సమ్ కంక్లూజన్
Okay.
in the last of that, sir. Mm.
Because the question is about
Descent.
forms of descent. It's about. ఇంకా కొంచెం ఫాస్ట్ కరెక్షన్ చేశాను. ఇది డిఫరెంట్ ఫార్మ్స్ మీన్స్ లీనియేజ్, క్లాన్, ఫ్రాటరీ, మాయిటీ, అది ఫార్మ్. ఇవేమో టైప్స్. దీస్ ఆర్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ డిసెంట్, దీస్ ఆర్ ఫార్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ డిసెంట్.
Okay.
Urbanization. Same. First about family, then
Sir, in this I've assumed that urbanization and industrialization, they both are interrelated, and I've written impacts, sir.
ఒకటి నేను నోటీస్ చేశానండి కలిదా, యూ కెన్ చేంజ్ నౌ యువర్ ఆన్సర్స్. Now if you see anyone's answer, Samyukta answer or any Anil answer, Sandeep Singh answer also, they are answers are visible. మీది మోనోటోనస్ గా ఒకటే విధంగా ఉంది.
Okay, yes, sir.
ఒకటే విధంగా ఇలా ఇలా రాస్తూ ఇలా ఉంటే ఏమో అంటే మనం రాసింది కనబడాలంటే దాన్ని చూపెట్టాలి. సో సంథింగ్ లైక్ దిస్.
Okay.
పాయింట్ కరెక్టే, కొంచెం ఇలా మోనోటోనస్ ఉండకుండా
Yes, sir.
అండర్లైన్ చేయడము.
Okay, sir. Sir, writing kuda edaina improve cheyali.
It is good.
Okay.
ఇలాంటివి.
This I couldn't remember judgments.
నేను పంపిస్తాను ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్ అయిపోగానే.
Okay, sir.
Very good. You had written examples.
Yes, sir.
So both the good. Oral good, Kalida, but write 3 hours.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, okay, sir.
Very good. Thank you everyone.